The world will try to convince you that something is missing in you, but listen closely. The truth is that nothing is missing, nothing is broken, nothing is incomplete. You are enough right now, in this moment, exactly as you are. The same breath that keeps the stars suspended in the sky flows through you too. You were created intentionally, designed with purpose, crafted with meaning. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not behind in life. You are a masterpiece still unfolding, a story still being written, a light still rising. And you don't need to become someone else to be worthy of love, respect, or peace. You already are. There is a quiet strength inside you that you sometimes forget. The world speaks loudly, comparing, measuring, ranking, judging. But your soul whispers gently, you are already enough. Maybe you've spent years trying to fit into places that were never made for you. Maybe you've changed your voice, hid your fears, tucked away your truth, because you thought being yourself wasn't acceptable. But the real you, the soft you, the imperfect you, the growing you that is the part of you the world actually needs. You don't have to shrink to be loved. You don't have to pretend to be strong when you're hurting. You don't have to hide your flaws to be worthy. You don't have to wait until you achieve more to feel valuable. You are perfect as you are because every detail of who you are was chosen with divine precision. You have scars, but scars mean you've survived. You have doubts, but doubts mean you're human. You have dreams, but dreams mean you're alive. You have moments of weakness, but weakness is where your deepest strength is formed. Your imperfections are not limitations, they are layers of depth, character, and beauty that make you irreplaceable. You are not supposed to be flawless. You are supposed to be real. And real is always more powerful than perfect. Think of every challenge you've overcome, every night you cried but still woke up the next day. Think of the situations you thought would break you but ended up shaping you. You carry a resilience in your bones that you don't give yourself enough credit for. You are not defined by the moments you failed. You are defined by the courage it took to rise again when failure tried to hold you down. You are defined by your heart, your kindness, your faith, your sincerity. And none of that requires perfection. None of that requires changing yourself. It simply requires being you. Life has placed you exactly where you need to be, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Every delay you thought was a setback was actually a redirection. Every closed door was protection. Every disappointment was preparation. You don't need to force what is already written for you. And you don't need to fight to prove your worth. Your worth is built into your existence. You woke up with value. You breathe with purpose, because the one who created you does not make mistakes. If God wanted you to be different, He would have created you differently. But He chose this version of you, your personality, your heart, your voice, your path, because this is the version that carries the destiny meant for you. You are perfect as you are, not because you've reached your final form, but because you are exactly where you're meant to be in the journey. Perfection is not about having everything together. It's about being aligned with the truth of who you are. And you are learning, growing, evolving, healing. That is what makes you beautiful. That is what makes you powerful. Stop apologizing for being too emotional. Your emotions mean your heart is alive. Stop apologizing for being too quiet. Your silence has wisdom. Stop apologizing for being too loud. Your voice matters. Stop apologizing for the things that make you unique. There is someone out there praying for a soul exactly like yours. You don't need to be like others. You were never meant to blend in. You were meant to shine in your own way, in your own time, in your own style. The people who truly love you don't want the edited version of you. They want the real you. The you who laughs too hard, who gets excited over small things, who dreams big, who feels deeply, who sometimes stumbles but keeps moving. You don't need masks. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to pretend. You don't need to carry the fear of not being enough. Every breath you take is proof that you are already enough. The world will tell you to become more, to change this, to fix that, to improve endlessly. But sometimes growth begins with acceptance. Accepting that you are worthy right now. Accepting that your value is not conditional. Accepting that your identity does not depend on validation. You are a soul woven with brilliance, and your mere existence is a gift. Look at yourself with the same compassion you offer to others. Speak to yourself with the same kindness you use to comfort your loved ones. You deserve the gentleness you give so freely. You deserve to treat yourself like someone worth protecting. Because you are allowed to rest. You are allowed to make mistakes. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to say no. You are allowed to try again. You are allowed to be a work in progress without feeling ashamed. No flower apologizes for needing time to bloom. No sunrise apologizes for taking its time to rise. Everything in nature moves at its own pace, and so should you. Your journey is not behind schedule. When you look in the mirror, don't search for flaws. Look for the miracle standing before you. Look for the strength in your eyes, the courage in your heart, the softness in your smile. Look at the person who has walked through storms but never gave up. You are a fighter, a dreamer, a believer, a survivor. You are someone who deserves peace, joy, and love. And none of those things require perfection, just authenticity. Let go of the pressure to be someone else. Let go of the old labels people placed on you. Let go of the expectations that weighed your soul down. You don't need to be who the world wants you to be. You only need to be who you truly are. You are perfect as you are, not because your life is perfect, but because you are crafted with divine intention. And every day you grow into a stronger, softer, wiser version of yourself. Be patient with your heart. Be gentle with your journey. And remember, the world is more beautiful because you exist exactly as you are. You are perfect as you are because every chapter of your life is teaching you something essential, something meaningful, something that will one day make sense in a way it doesn't right now. You don't have to rush your healing or hurry your growth. You don't have to pressure yourself to have all the answers. Life unfolds softly, slowly, silently, like dawn breaking across the horizon. And just like that dawn, you are allowed to rise gradually. You are allowed to discover yourself piece by piece. So many people forget that being human means being imperfect. Being human means not knowing everything. Being human means learning through falling, understanding through heartbreak, transforming through experiences. You don't grow by pretending to be flawless. You grow by embracing your truth, even the parts that feel messy or confusing. In the story of your life, every mistake becomes wisdom, every setback becomes strength, every fear becomes courage, every tear becomes clarity. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is useless. Every moment is shaping you into someone extraordinary. You are perfect as you are because your journey is perfectly designed for you. No one else has your exact heart. No one else has walked your exact road. No one else carries your exact dreams, fears, memories, or hopes. Your perspective, your voice, your presence, all of it is one of a kind. There has never been another you, and there will never be one again. That alone makes you priceless. Think about the times you felt invisible or unimportant. Even in those moments, you mattered more than you realized. You touched lives without knowing. You inspired people without trying. You gave someone hope without seeing it. Your existence has value far beyond what you can measure. You don't need applause to be valuable. You don't need approval to be meaningful. You don't need perfection to be loved. You deserve to take up space. You deserve to exist without apologizing. You deserve to breathe without feeling guilty. You deserve to walk through life with your head lifted, knowing that you belong here. The world is vast, but there is a place carved just for you, a place no one else can fill, and you fit perfectly into it, just as you are. People will have opinions about you. Some kind, some harsh, some completely wrong. But none of those opinions define you. You define you. Your worth comes from your soul, not from the noise around. The moment you stop letting the world shape your identity, you begin to see how remarkable you truly are. You begin to understand that perfection is not about flawlessness. It's about authenticity. It's about showing up as yourself, not as a shadow of someone else. And even on the days when you feel tired, lost, or uncertain, you are still enough. Even on the days when you don't feel strong, you are still worthy. Even on the days when your heart feels heavy, you are still loved. You are still loved. You don't lose your value just because you're struggling. You don't become less because life gets hard. If anything, those moments reveal your depth, your perseverance, your humanity. Think of how far you've come. Think of all the things you once worried you wouldn't survive, but you did. You overcame heartbreaks that felt unbearable. You grew through situations that tried to destroy you. You found light in places that felt endlessly dark. That is not small. That is not ordinary. That is a sign of someone extraordinary, someone strong, someone deeply capable. And you're still becoming, you're still evolving into an even more beautiful version of yourself. But don't forget, even in this moment, even in this stage of your journey, you are already enough. You are already worthy. You are already perfect as you are. You are perfect as you are because every emotion you feel, every thought you carry, every hope you hold within you is part of the beautiful design that makes you who you are. Your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is proof that you experience life deeply. Your compassion is not something to hide. It is a gift that many people wish they had. Your quiet moments of reflection, your loud bursts of laughter, your dreams that scare you because they're so big. All of these pieces are part of a soul that is wonderfully made. Some days you may wake up feeling unsure of yourself. You may look at your reflection and see flaws instead of miracles. You may compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 20. You may feel like you're not progressing fast enough, not shining bright enough, not achieving enough. But pause. Breathe. Remember, your pace is perfect for your path. Your journey cannot be compared to anyone else's because crafted uniquely for you. For you. There is no timeline you must meet to be worthy. There is no scoreboard you must follow to matter. There is no universal standard you must fit to be loved. You are allowed to grow slowly. You are allowed to discover your purpose gradually. You are allowed to take detours, to wander a little, to explore without having all the answers. Sometimes the detours lead to the most beautiful destinations. You may not always see your own growth, but others do. They see the way you've learned to stand a little taller. They see the way you've handled things that once scared you. They see the quiet strength you carry now. They see the way your heart has become wiser, softer, more resilient. And even if no one saw it, even if no one acknowledged it, your growth would still be real. Your progress would still be valid. Your journey would still matter. You are perfect as you are because you feel deeply. You care genuinely. You give sincerely. You love wholeheartedly. These qualities are rare in a world that often teaches people to hide their feelings, guard their hearts, and act like they don't care. But not you. You carry a heart that feels the world intensely, and that is a beautiful thing. Don't let the world convince you that you need to be harder to survive out there. You can be soft and still be strong. You can be gentle and still be powerful. You can be emotional and still be brave. The strongest people are often the ones who have learned to remain kind in a world that tried to break them. Every version of you that has existed, the scared one, the confused one, the hopeful one, the hurting one, the healing one, the trying one, deserves love. And every version of you has led you to this moment. You are not defined by your worst days. You are not limited by your past. You are not trapped by your mistakes. You are constantly evolving, and every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Look at your hands. They have held on through things that were heavy. Look at your heart. It has loved despite the risks. Look at your mind. It has imagined futures brighter than your past. You are a miracle walking. You are evidence that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it simply continues. The world may not always understand you, but you don't exist to be understood. You exist to be yourself. You exist to grow into the fullness of who you were created to be. You exist to shine in your own way. And that shine does not require perfection. It requires truth. You are perfect as you are because perfection is not the absence of flaws. It is the embrace of your humanity. It is the acceptance of who you are while still believing in who you can become. It is the balance of grace and ambition, softness and strength, patience and determination. You deserve to take a deep breath and say to yourself, I am enough, because you are. You always will be. You are perfect as you are because the world needs the exact kind of light that only you can bring. There are people you haven't met yet whose lives will be touched by your presence, your words, your kindness, your honesty. You don't have to be flawless to make a difference. You don't have to be extraordinary in the way the world defines extraordinary. Sometimes the gentlest gesture, smile, a comforting word, a sincere moment of understanding is enough to shift someone's entire day. And the beauty is you do these things naturally, simply by being yourself. You underestimate how much your existence matters. You overlook how much your presence changes the atmosphere around you. There is someone out there who feels safer because you exist. Someone who feels seen because you listened. Someone who feels hopeful because of something you said. Someone who feels less alone because of the way you cared. These things may feel small to you, but they are not small to the people receiving them. And even when you feel like you're not doing enough, even when you feel like you're not achieving enough, even when you feel like you're falling behind, remember that simply being yourself is already meaningful. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the real one, the one who laughs unexpectedly, the one who feels deeply, the one who dreams quietly, the one who tries even when it's hard. That's the version of you that touches hearts. And that light inside you is not measured by how productive you were today or how confident you felt or how much you achieved. It is measured by your presence, your intention, your humanity. It is measured by the way you keep moving forward even when life feels heavy. You don't have to change yourself just to be accepted by people who don't understand you. You don't have to soften your truth to make others comfortable. You don't have to pretend that everything is fine when your heart is quietly asking for gentleness. You deserve to be seen in your fullness, in your laughter, in your sadness, in your strength, in your vulnerability. Whoever is meant for you will embrace all of you, not just the polished parts. There are moments when you look back at yourself and think, oh, why wasn't I stronger? Why didn't I know better? But you forget that during those moments, you were doing the best you could with the knowledge, maturity, and strength you had at the time. You were navigating pain you didn't know how to articulate. You were fighting battles no one ever saw. You were learning lessons life didn't prepare you for. Give yourself grace. You have grown so much since then. And the version of you that walked through those storms deserves love, not judgment. You are perfect as you are because you continue to rise after every fall. You continue to believe in love after heartbreak. You continue to search for meaning after disappointment. You continue to hope even when hope feels fragile. That persistence, that quiet determination, that unwavering spirit, it is remarkable. You don't give yourself enough credit for the resilience you carry. And do you realize how rare it is to care as deeply as you do, to feel as intensely as you feel? Some people go through life numb, disconnected, avoiding emotion, but you allow yourself to feel. You allow yourself to love. You allow your heart to open, even when you fear it might break. That is not weakness. That is bravery. That is authenticity. That is the signature of someone who is beautifully alive. You don't need to change your personality to be lovable. You don't need to hide your quirks to be accepted. The right people will appreciate the things others overlooked. Your laugh that some said was too loud will be someone's favorite sound. Your curiosity that others dismissed will one day lead you to breakthroughs. Your softness that some mistook for fragility is actually one of your greatest strengths. You don't need to be less. You don't need to dim yourself. You don't need to shrink. You are allowed to take up space. You are perfect as you are because every part of you tells a story. One of perseverance, one of courage, one of becoming. You may not always feel strong, but strength is not always loud. And sometimes strength is simply choosing to wake up again. Sometimes it's choosing to hope again. Sometimes it's choosing to breathe through the weight on your chest. These quiet victories matter. They shape you in ways you don't yet fully understand. You don't have to pretend you figured everything out. You don't need to have your whole life neatly organized to be worthy of kindness, love, or peace. Life is not a race. Life is not a race. It's a journey meant to be felt, explored. And you are doing exactly what you're meant to do. Learning at your own pace, growing in your own way, evolving in your own time. You are perfect as you are because your heart still chooses love, even after experiencing hurt. That's rare. That's brave. That's beautiful. Some people let pain harden them, but you let pain teach you. You let it deepen your understanding, expand your empathy, soften your spirit. You carry wisdom earned through storms, and you give to others what you never received yourself. Compassion, acceptance, forgiveness. Your past does not make you less worthy. Your mistakes do not define you. Your regrets do not diminish your value. You are not the person you were back then. You have learned. You have grown. You have transformed. The person standing here today has endured things the old you never thought they could handle. That alone is a sign of progress, of quiet but undeniable greatness. And even the parts of you that feel unfinished or uncertain are still worthy of love. You don't have to wait until you become the best version of yourself to deserve affection, respect, or appreciation. You are allowed to take up space even while healing. You are allowed to be loved even while learning. You are allowed to be valued even while evolving. You are perfect as you are because your existence carries meaning. You were designed with intention. You were created with purpose. There is nothing accidental about your heart, your mind, your soul, your presence. You have qualities that others pray for, kindness that comforts, sincerity that reassures, warmth that heals. And you don't need to change who you are to be enough. You already are. Sometimes you look at others and think they have something you don't. Confidence, beauty, success, happiness. But everyone is carrying something behind the scenes. Everyone is navigating struggles you may never see. You are not behind. You are not lacking. You are simply on a different page, and that page still holds meaning. Comparing your journey to someone else's only blinds you to the beauty of your own growth. You deserve to acknowledge how far you've come. You deserve to celebrate the strengths you hide. You deserve to recognize the depth of your heart. You deserve to breathe without guilt, rest without fear, exist without apology. The world may try to convince you that you need to be more, do more, achieve more to matter. But nothing in nature rushes to prove its worth. The moon does not compare itself to the stars. The ocean does not shrink because someone prefers the mountains. Every part of creation simply exists in its own beauty. And so should you. You are perfect as you are because there is nothing wrong with being human. There is nothing wrong with not having all the answers. There is nothing wrong with being a work in progress. Growth is not meant to erase who you are. It's meant to reveal more of your truth. And your truth is extraordinary. One day you will look back and realize that all the things you worried made you are not enough were actually the things that made you special, the things that made you real, the things that made you lovable. But you don't have to wait for the future to believe this. You can choose to believe it now. You can choose to give yourself permission to exist without fear. You can choose to see the beauty that has always been inside you. You are enough. You are worthy. You are cherished. And you are perfect as you are.